I'm going to show you all the action figures from the 1993 Super Mario Bros. Movie. I'll always love this movie because it's an insane interpretation of the Super Mario games. So I think it was a pretty awesome movie. We'll start off, of course, with Mario. And back then there weren't a lot of like video game action figures or toys, so this was always great to have because this was my Super Mario action figure. The only other Mario toys of the time would have been the Happy Meal Super Mario Bros. 3 toys, which I do have a video about those you can check out. But we have Bob Hoskins as Mario, English actor that can somehow play the old Brooklyn plumber. Also fairly similar if you remember him in Roger Rabbit also. Pretty solid likeness for the time period of these coming out. Got his Mario style jumpsuit that he gets later in the movie. Kind of a different hat there, just kind of something to kind of represent the old Mario style hat. It still fits in the realistic world of the movie. A removable tool belt, which is pretty cool, but that little peg is really hard to get in and out there. Keeps it on. The bodies are kind of short, kind of stubby style, not realistic human proportion or anything like that. And he has his Thwomp Stomper boots he gets that allows them to do their kind of famous Super Mario jumps in the movie. I don't know if people don't realize that there's so many video game references in the movie. I don't know if they just don't see it and they go, it's not like the game at all. And like there's so many little references. There's a Super Mario cartoon you can go watch that's also not like the game, but they are cartoony and use a lot more of the game stuff in them. Now, the boots, I mean, kind of based, first of all, named after Thwomps, and then you kind of have the boot from Mario 3 also, so there's a couple levels to a lot of the references of stuff in the movie. I also like that they kept the plumber theme for Mario a lot more. You have the tool belt, and then his accessory is this kind of toolkit kind of thing, and it has a real style plunger instead of like the usual old style plunger. It's like the modern plunger shape. So he has a little handle, he can hold it, and actually his spring-loaded trigger, you hit the button and it springs out. You can kind of knock down maybe some enemies with it. Of course, the peg has released on the belt. Nice watch, Mario. Don't lose that when your hand's down in the old drain there. Hold the plunger weapon. They do use their tools as weapons in the movie. They're just 5-point figures with the legs swinging forward and back. The arms can go all the way around, and the head can go all the way around too. If you want to go by the image on the carding of the tool kit to the side there, although in that image he has the wrench and Luigi has the plunger, but Mario did come with the plunger weapon. We got Luigi, played by John Leguizamo. No mustache growing for the role here. He just went the younger look. Just kind of the backwards cap, not just the same hat as Mario. Awesome green shade. He's got his tool belt as well, same articulation. And we got the boots. Looks pretty good, again, for a 1993 action figure. The face kind of has just enough of the actor to it. And he comes with the wrench version of the same weapon Mario had. Again, on that poster, Mario had the wrench, so you could kind of swap them, you know, whichever one they wanted to use. It was up to you, but interesting concept for the weapons that they don't launch a missile, they just spring out just as like a strike. Certainly you won't get lost parts that way, at least. I can see what they did with Luigi, kind of make him more relatable young instead of just two old mustache dudes. Although I think in the poster kind of imagery, he does have like a multicolored or rainbow strap belt. That would have been kind of cool to see, but again, they're just doing the simple accessory, you know, same pieces so they can kind of save a buck making these. The ERTL toy company. Not really known for too many action figure lines, so pretty good job with the Mario Brothers. I played with them all the time. And we have the King Koopa, President Koopa. Of course, you couldn't freaking tell instantly. Dennis Hopper, the actor, actually looks pretty good for him. Probably better than maybe his Waterworld action figure appearance. Got his classic hairdo from the movie. Again, a little bit like sort of just the general shapes and things to kind of reference instead of having him be a giant monster like Bowser or something, though he does end up turning into one later. Sweet, like, military costume. Nice shoes, my friend. But again, he'll have the same articulation, coming with the Devo gun, the de-evolution gun. de-evolve any organic matter it hit, which is what he got hit with from the Mario Brothers, turning him into more of a Koopa monster dino dude. Again, based off of like the Super Scope, the Super Nintendo of the time. I think this particular one has busted the trigger mechanism, so I can't do the shot sort of function on this one. But it was cool, you know, the weapons they actually had in the movie. Obviously a figure of his dino form probably would have been more exciting to kids. Do some kind of big deluxe there. I think that scared the crap out of me as a kid. If I could only just make you idiots smarter. A little hard to substitute for Koopa or Bowser from the video game or cartoon, whereas the Mario Brothers definitely look more like themselves. But for the movie playing around, King Koopa. We got the Goomba from the movie, which of course were giant. I actually got to end up with 2 of them as a kid, which was pretty lucky, but I've lost their cloak. They had the big jackets, cloth, which was really cool for action figures of this time. But somehow I just didn't take care of those and lost them. Very sad. This is what they look like underneath. They just have their strap and then just weird shorts, which is kind of awkward. A nice big honkin' boots. They have awesome, like, flat dino faces. Probably not quite like the movie appearance, even though. Especially with just the body size is a lot smaller as well. But they came with the flamethrower weapon. Another one where the spring mechanism seems to have broken. I think the whole trigger is broken off here. Again, one of those just loose references, like this is the fire flower. Their weaponry is like shooting the flames, so like shooting the fireballs. Same colored little thing that the Devo gun had. They didn't have like a different color for the Devo gun. Flamethrower just has the orange, which makes sense. Devo gun probably should have had a different color. I don't know if there was supposed to be a joke in the movie, like that Mario just sees like the head moving like a tiny Goomba, and he's like, well, these guys ain't gonna be so tough, and then it like reveals its size like later. Like, I don't know if that was supposed to be the idea, why they went with Goombas being gigantic instead of the tiny little things that Mario would stomp on in the video games. But they didn't have me on the writing team back then, since I was 7. So I never had Iggy and Spike back in the day, so I have some on the card where we can see the carding imagery. Sweet logo, and we have Manhattan here and Dino Hatton on the other side, covered in the fungus of the movie. The Cowardly Iggy. Here just showing the 6 figures on the back and what they come with. I guess each figure had kind of a collectible card, little mini bio of the character. A couple jokey responses here to just their information and such. Another Manhattan, Dino Hatton kind of imagery as well. We're going to open up a fresh example here. See the long card backs too, pretty cool. Save that. So this way we'll have a working flamethrower, fire flower kind of gun. Locks in there and then pulls the... Looks like we just push up on the mechanism to shoot the fireball, which again, it didn't just shoot a missile out, it just had this little feature. Again, you could give these to the Mario Brothers if you wanted to have them with a weapon. And Iggy, played by Fisher Stevens, which you might remember from the Short Circuit movies also. Johnny number 5, what is it that you are doing here? Another dude that can just play so many different roles. Nice sideburns on him there. I think I just skipped these guys because again, they're just strictly for the movie. I was kind of more looking for Mario-inspired stuff, so nice little leisure suit or whatever this is, but same kind of weird proportions and just basic articulation. Gloved hands, nice little necklace there. Even the belt buckle painted with the kind of shiny gold of the necklace. Pretty cool. Just to represent the movie and stuff, I do like these. I don't think they ever used a flamethrower or Devo gun, but it was just the kind of accessories the other figures were going to come with. So you get an extra with him, which is good. He has just a wild haircut here. Craziness in the back here. I don't know what you call this. Probably made to be a little more stern and scary looking compared to him in the movie, but still a decent appearance for, again, 1993, for a live action movie. And the Cowardly Spike, who did get marked down at Walmart, down to $3 at one point, apparently. Yes, the official Nintendo seal. And his little bio card. A little bit of the same stuff from Iggy, in a sense. A little bit different. You can definitely tell these shots are like prototypes painted just the way they look. Suppose I forgot to mention about their names. Iggy over there, one of the Koopa kids in Mario 3, so that's where he's kind of getting his name. Spike, just kind of some general enemies' names and such, so they didn't go full reference there. It comes with the Devo gun, which this will be another working one. Well, it should be. These might have just had general problems working because it's not staying locked in even though it's brand new. That might have been the problem I had as a kid. I didn't maybe just bust it, but they just don't work very well. Yeah, it won't stay in. So another busted Devo gun, dang. But old Spike here with probably the coolest haircut I've ever seen in my life. Just a bowl in the back there. Again, another good likeness. I mean, probably easier with the weird hair and facial hair and stuff, but got weird enough looking dudes that they did look like, you know, they just weren't human all the way. Some gold on the edge, even a little bit blue of his collar sticking up here. I don't know what's up with these pants, man, but they're weird. He kind of has a pointer finger going on here, look, hey. But he could still hold a weapon if you wanted him to. But again, I skipped these as a kid because they weren't really combat villains or even heroes. They were just weird. But hey, Iggy and Spike added, so that way I have the full 6 figures of the series, which I'll happily display because I do like 90s action figures and stuff. There was a playset of the Devo chamber, which I guess was fairly rare to come across, or maybe just nobody bought it. Had a cool feature, you know, kind of do the switch, and they get de-evolved in the chamber, and it came with an exclusive Goomba. The normal figures were this kind of actual based on the Goomba, and the others in the movie had snakier kind of lizard heads. Looked more like Koopa Troopas from the games. So that would be an awesome figure to get, just because of the different appearance for the Goombas. But apparently it's worth quite a bit, so we'll look out for that one. But I don't have too high hopes of getting a hold of it, which would be awesome. Plus there was the police car, because they deal with like the Koopa's police, and it had like the weird like scoop in the front and everything. It had some features with that, so that was really cool. Love to get that one, but again, it's another one that I guess was somehow rare and kind of hard to get a hold of again. And there was kind of a super scope like toy weapon, much like the Devo gun is based off of in appearance. But that one's just kind of for role play, you know, playing around, not with the action figures. And allegedly there was going to be a Yoshi from the movie, probably the character that looked the most like a realistic form of their video game counterpart. And I guess there is a prototype that floated around somebody got a hold of. That would have been awesome to get, especially with like a Daisy action figure. She was such a big part of the movie. But they were not released, or Daisy certainly wasn't ever considered to be made in the set. Sadly, I would have liked to have her. Yeah, take into mind the last Mario game that came out was Super Mario World, and that took place in Dinosaur Land, or Dinosaur Island. So the filmmakers were taking that idea, just going full on with a dinosaur kind of world. Also, the movie came out in May of 1993, and the very next month, June, Jurassic Park came out, so probably took some of the attention away in that way. An interdimensional dino people post-apocalyptic sci-fi Super Mario Brothers movie. How could you not love this? Just go play the games if that's what you want to see. But for a live-action Super Mario movie, I thought it was an awesome interpretation. I love having the action figures from it. Happily will watch the movie anytime. And I open a lot of other 90s action figures and show my collections off here of different lines and anything else I collect, so you might want to get subscribed and stick around for another video here. Pretty nostalgic or just informative if you don't know the history of some 90s action figures and such. It's a lot of fun. See you next time, paisanos! Oh, that's the wrong Mario live action.